What's up, everybody? Welcome to the next episode of Cowboys Huddle with Foots the King here from
Locked
Cowboys
in,
Nation
baby.
TV. You ready to do this?
Cowboys Nation TV, Cowboys Blog. Let's do it, Joe.
Let's do it. Let's get right into the questions here. I mean, we're going to do Q&A first, right, Foots?
Yeah, let's get into these questions. We had discussed previously, Joe, like what questions we wanted to do. So let's get right into it, man. I saw a good one here, Joe, that I liked. A lot of people really aren't feeling the Sherman thing. Let me find this one. That basically the question was about, I just forget who wrote it, Joe. I can't find it now. Basically, it was about the youth movement, and somebody along the line said he could see Jordan Lewis taking Scandrick's job. Jordan Lewis did play the slot. Chidobe starting opposite of Anthony Brown. So once I find out, I'll give him that shout out. But I think that's actually good, Joe, because if you think about how the Cowboys drafted, that was the goal. Like, we drafted 4 secondary defenders. We drafted in the secondary. So the point is to bring in competition and young competition. We didn't really want it to be like, yo, going into this season with Scandrick is the guy. He always has injury problems. So it's a youth movement. So I definitely think that could be one. That could be something that could happen. What about you, Joe?
Yeah, I think it is, man. I think it's inevitable. You know, I don't think that these guys are gonna hang on that long. You know, we talked about another guy asked about Carroll. I think it was Marcel B asking about, would Carroll, is he on pace to being a reserve? I think that was his question. So, I think it's a good question. You know, is he on pace to be reserve? I would say possibly.
With that BS, with that DUI, you could be. You can't play those games.
Yeah, especially because 2-game suspension possibly.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the thing. If he gets 2-game suspensions, you never know, man. Somebody might get that job and take hold of it and won't give it back.
Not give it back. Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good question. I think it's very possible. No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Yeah, man. Here's one. Here's one from J-Mac. Hey, you guys. I was watching the OTA footage on D-Law. The dude looks like a beast going up against Tyron Smith. I don't know about you, but hella stoked this year. Basically, that's almost a comment, but I have been hearing a lot of things about DeMarcus Lawrence. He's focused. Kind of feels like an underdog. This is a contract year. You know, contract years do funny things for players. They step up. They kind of play above what they should be. I think I've always liked DeMarcus Lawrence. I just don't think that he reached his full potential for whatever reason. Nagging injuries, development maybe out of scheme, out of position. Let's see. Maybe bringing in a guy like Taco can make him play better.
Yeah.
I always thought it was something we should do with Tony, and you have to keep competition at every position. And bringing a guy like Taco, who actually is very similar in his skill set. Taco's a little bit longer. So I think that could be something that could happen, Joe, where D-Law actually plays good this year.
Yeah, man, I like that. I think he can do it. I mean, he's done it. You know, he had an 8-sack season, so he can definitely do it. I think for him, it's more about health. Can he stay healthy? You know, he's had all sorts of injuries, back surgeries, all that kind of junk. For me, his career arc is almost like Anthony Spencer. You know, he'll do good here, he'll do good there, he'll get injured here. Obviously, Spencer had the knee issues, but with Lawrence having issues here, injuries. But does he play good in a contract year? We saw the same thing with Anthony Spencer. Once he got the contract, he was okay, you know, and then franchised him, and he was all right. So I don't want it to be one of those things where DeMarcus Lawrence has a real good season, Cowboys maybe buy into it, give him a big contract, and then he kind of does a Spencer deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. I found out who that guy was. Joe was Gerald Beasley.
Okay.
He thought that Jordan Lewis would replace Scandrick. So Gerald, you might be onto something. X Woods be a starter. I think it can happen. Here goes one, Joe. Savannah Howell. I saw you reply to her, but I would like to touch on this as well. Sean Lee should never be a middle linebacker. Dallas has done this in the past. He keeps getting hurt. Blah blah. I agree. However, your Mike linebacker is your general. Now, Sean Lee makes all the calls, and he's a lot of times the fastest to the ball anyway. But to me, your Mike has to be a guy who can shed, who can clog, and who can basically get uncovered and won't get swallowed up by guards. And the problem with Jalen Smith, I don't know if I want him year one playing Mike, just because it's such a big responsibility. But in order to have my two best linebackers on the field with Sean and Jalen, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've been hearing a lot of noise about Damian Wilson, but Damian Wilson, Jalen, I'm going to have to go Jalen if healthy. I know Damian Wilson is a nice piece, but I would tend to lead towards Jalen, you know what I mean? And so to have them, I don't want too much on Jalen and the injury, and I would rather him chasing from the weak, from the will, than having to be the middle. I think Sean, even though he has gotten hurt before, I would take my chances with him in that middle for me.
That's a good point, actually. Thinking about that, I think a lot of people have Jalen pegged there for the middle linebacker, but I mean, for where he could be most effective, I mean, that does make a lot of sense, to be real.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, if you think about it, year one, middle, in this defense, that's a lot. Yeah. Eberflus asks a lot out of his linebacker, so that's a lot of, that's a lot to ask. Seriously.
That's why I kind of think that in the end, I think they're gonna bring him along slow. I don't think, he'll play game one, assuming everything goes well, but he won't be like, I don't know what, like a 40 or 50 snap guy. I don't think. I mean, I think he might be a situational guy. He's got the pass rush ability. We know that. Might be a nickel guy. Might be a nickel pass rusher. I mean, he's versatile. We'll see what they do. It's going to be interesting. But I think he'll contribute in some sort of way.
I agree.
I got a question here, man. This is a good one here. We kind of hit it here. This is from Barry B. Can y'all talk about who you think will start at the safety positions?
Okay, I'll take this one, Joe. All right. Now chime in with me, Brody.
Yeah.
Listen, it's too early to tell. We'll know in preseason games. We'll know who's feeling, who's playing their run fits, who's not getting the ball tossed over their head. I love X Woods. I'm an X Woods guy. However, Heath just came along. People will forever crucify Heath from that Detroit game where Calvin Johnson just destroyed basically our whole secondary.
Yeah.
But Heath was part of that, and the white. He's a white safety. No disrespect. Harrison Smith's a great safety from the Vikings, but so it's just that kind of thing. It's almost like white running back, white safety, white corner. No, and that's not. Guys, don't take that the wrong way, but it's just like that's what it was with Christian McCaffrey and all that. But anyway, I like Jeff Heath a lot. It's the reason why he's on this team. He actually has great ball production. He has better ball production than any secondary player. That's the problem. Nobody on the Cowboys takes the ball away but Jeff Heath.
Yeah.
The problem is you're going to take away a lot from special teams. And I think that if one of these rookies can step up, Kayvon or X Woods, that's the way I would go with Byron. Because you may have some lumps, but the way we play our safeties in that Tampa 2 type of deal so far off the ball anyway, it would be hard for them to mess up. And if Xavier Woods can actually play, that's just a plus. and then you can keep Heath on in his special teams role, and then coming in the special packages for the defense. So that's what I would do if they show face, and if in camp they actually prove to be something.
Yeah, I agree too. I think it's going to be a tricky thing, because you want to have Heath healthy to be your special teams guy, and
right, he's your ace.
Rich Bisaccia doesn't want to lose that guy. I mean, he's his main guy, one of the main ones, if not the main one. But Xavier Woods, he's getting some props here. Walking around here like he's been here before. So I mean, he has a good chance, in my opinion. But Kevon Frazier is coming back from that foot injury, so they're bringing him along slowly. Could be a good thing here for Xavier Woods. Take advantage of, the snaps. Could be good for him. But I think it is. I think it's kind of hard to predict it right now. Like you said, I think we'll have to see what they do in preseason. No doubt.
I completely agree. Yeah, man. I think that's pretty good for. I'm looking at some other ones, though, just trying to see what's the word. Oh, let's lead this into one of our topics, Joe.
All right.
D-line starters. Let's see. I can't really find. My question is no. Oh, okay, no. We'll scratch that. All right, listen. My question to you, and this is from Jay Becerra. Did you already hit this one, Joe?
No, not yet.
People love Switzer, so we'll hit this one, then we'll get into our topics. Ryan Switzer's obviously the hot topic right now. Every year there's one.
Oh yeah.
And some of them last, some of them don't. My question to you is, and I guess this is both of us. Thank you, Jay Becerra. You always comment, and it means the world to us.
Appreciate it.
Knowing that Ryan Switzer has some playmaking ability, do you think putting him in with Beasley is a smart move? I think you're putting two smaller than average players in the same play to the opposing defense is not a plus. Your thoughts? So because of their size, it's not a plus. CJ, because of their size, to me it is a plus, because what's going to happen is it's a numbers game and it's a pick your poison game for me. So what's going to happen is, that's fine, they're small, but they're hard to stay in front of. And what team goes 6 deep at quality, at 5 deep at quality corner? And even if they do have corners that are like little scat guys, if you're in the right formation, are they going to be able to come up and make a tackle on Zeke? I doubt it. And if they're, 9 times out of 10, if their skill set is checking and guarding a slot defender, then I doubt they'll be able to come up and make a tackle on Zeke or check Rico or anything like that. So I like it. I like getting Ryan Switzer and Cole on the field at the same time. I think it just adds another dimension that the defense has to guard.
Yeah, I'm with you on that too, man. I like it. I don't think it's a bad thing at all. I think it's a plus all the way, because just Beasley by himself, he had 75 catches, like 830 something yards. That's pretty boss level right there. You put in Switz, and these smaller guys, they can find the soft spots in the defense, and they can hurt you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think for like a team like the Eagles, the way they play their defense, they like to double Dez, they like to double Witten, they like to take away some of those weapons. But I think, man, if you put Switz in there with Beasley, against the Eagles, the way they play their secondary, we're going to move the ball on them even more. Open up the running game, you know what I mean?
I agree.
You're going to open up that running game. If you don't go empty set, you got Zeke back there, you're going to have less people in the box, man. So
you open up Zeke out the backfield, passing opportunities.
There you go. And that's something they talked about here. They want to get him more of the ball here, like get him more in the passing game, because he had that at Ohio State. He had catches, so they need to utilize that. I think they want to do that to tear some people up, man. I'm telling you, if we get Zeke rolling here in the passing game, it's over, man. We're going to destroy everybody, I hope.
Hey, he really is like a very good mix. He's a mismatch for a lot of safety. People don't really understand how good of a pass threat Ezekiel Elliott is.
Yeah.
He is. He's one of the. I'm sorry, guys. I'm yawning. It's late over here. He's a really good pass threat. Like, yo, Zeke, go watch him run routes. That's why I got into so many arguments with my boys about like who's a more complete back. Like guys that came out this year, like Dalvin Cook and Leonard Fournette. All of these guys. But even Christian McCaffrey. Like, I'll give you a number. Christian McCaffrey ran a 4.5, I think, the draft, and he's 205. Zeke ran a sub 4.4, and he's 225. So that just lets you know like how strong but yet agile Zeke is. I'll give you another number. So Fournette clocked in 20 pounds heavier than Zeke, and Zeke was still faster than Fournette, right?
Yeah.
But he still had a better short shuttle. He still benched more. Well, Fournette obviously didn't bench, but Zeke benched. Like, he went through with everything. When you watch those two in passing combinations and you watch them in pass protection, Zeke is a beast. Zeke is a once-in-a-lifetime player. You have to utilize all his skill sets, so that'll be fun to watch.
No doubt, man. I love talking about Zeke, man. I mean, we can talk about this guy all day. He's awesome, man. He's gonna do wonders for the defense. I mean, against the defense. You know,
I agree.
Gonna hurt him. But I got another one here for you, Foots. This one is about Taco. All right.
Okay.
This one here. This is from Hirsch Patel.
Okay.
Before the draft, everyone said Taco would be a left end. We need a right end. Do you think he will line up left or right?
To me, Joe, you watch his games. Go watch the Florida State game. Great game. He can do both, and he can do both pretty well. Now, obviously, left tackles in the league are a lot different from right tackles in the league, but
yeah.
Taco has, I think, the biggest thing that people are forgetting. I know everybody wanted T.J. Watt, and that could have a lot to do with his last name, blah, blah, blah. But the problem is, the thing that people are forgetting is that Taco, if you watch his film, he has a good array of pass rush moves. Like, it's not just a speed rush. Sometimes he can get you with a spin move. Sometimes he can swim through. Sometimes he can jab through. Sometimes he converts speed to power. And sometimes he uses his length just to extend you. He can do a lot of different things. I think it'll be now working with Leon Lett, working with Marinelli to define and redefine his pass rushing skills, and just having a know-when-to type of a know-when-to type of attitude when it comes to his pass rushing and his pass rushing ability. But I think he can play either or. I would like him at the right. He doesn't have like Randy Gregory burst off the line, but he can still get in the way of the quarterback, use his length, and make plays.
That's true, man. That's true. I think he's just so versatile, man. We can put him wherever we want. And, you know, they're talking about DeMontre Moore right now. You know, looking real good there at right end. That if the season started today, you're looking at him at the starting right end. So, you know, that's not to say that you're gonna have him not be at right end. You know, he could be there, be in the rotation. They can kick him inside. So,
yeah,
I think they're just gonna put him wherever. They're gonna match him up against, give him the best matchups. Whoever we're playing that particular week, you know. If we're looking at, like the Giants, their defense. I mean, their offensive line is kind of questionable. They might line him up somewhere where they have a weak link and see what he can do.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think those are pretty much some of the questions that we have time for.
Keep submitting, guys. Keep submitting questions. Yeah. We love it.
Keep submitting. Yeah, definitely for the next episode. Put them in there in the comments, like we said, and we'll try to get to your questions. But now let's talk about some of these topics. But before we do that, this time we're going to cat mode. Let's do this. This is serious. Cap mode time, as you know. It's So we got a couple of topics here to talk about. First one, let's talk about this, man. So last week, Darius Jackson was released by the Browns.
That's your boy, Joe.
Yeah, he cleared waivers, obviously. Nobody picked him up. So what do you think, man? Do you think that at some point they may pick him up later, or you just think this is one of those things where the ship has sailed, he's not coming back?
Dallas has shown that when you're done here, it's pretty much like that's the end of the road. So, short answer, Joe, I think it's over. What do you think? I know you like Darius Jackson a lot. Do you think it was smart for them not to even give him a look? What's your feelings?
Yeah, I think it's just one of those things where he's not a full go. You know, can he pass a physical? What is the degree, the severity of the knee injury? We still don't really know. So, but obviously the Cowboys know, and the other teams around the league know. So
Right.
So we'll see. You know, it's not to say that he may not, you know, come up later. You know, Philip Tanner, he was a guy that they added here. At the very end of, I forgot what season it was, but he came in here and did some mop-up work. You never know. You know, injuries can happen. You know, knock on wood, nothing does, but it's something to keep an eye on. But I think they have. I think they probably moved on for right now.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so here we go, Joe. The new kid. You know his name. What's the new quarterback?
Zac Dysert.
Dysert. I was about to say. I don't know what I was about to say. Tell me more, Joe. Tell me more. Who is he? What's he about? What his skill sets? What do you think? Is he a camp body? I saw he was with the Broncos, I believe.
Yeah, he was with the Broncos, and then I think
is that who drafted him?
I think he was undrafted, if I remember correctly. I don't think he was drafted.
Whose practice squad was he on, Joe?
He was with the Cardinals, and they waived him. So Cowboys put in a waiver for him. They picked him up.
So it was the Cardinals, not the Broncos.
I think. Well, he did play with the Broncos. He's kind of hopped around here, so he hasn't really found a home
so
yet.
he's in the league. Just okay.
Yeah, but he's got some height to him. He's 6'3", came out of Miami, the U or whatever. But yeah, for me, I think he's more of a camp body.
No, is it? No, he came out of Miami of Ohio, Joe.
Oh, it was Miami of Ohio.
Yeah, Ben Roethlisberger, so I remember that. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thanks for the correction. I wasn't sure. I just glanced over his bio here just a little bit earlier today, and I was just like, you know, nothing for stats really here in the pros. So I think they're just gonna go in there. They talked about giving Kellen Moore some more competition. I think this is what it is, just to make sure Kellen Moore doesn't get complacent. But I think he's more of a camp body. I just don't see them carrying 3 quarterbacks this season. What do you think, man? You think they're gonna carry 3 quarterbacks?
Nah, they're not. I don't see it because they may want to go heavy a receiver or maybe 10. They're not going to carry 3. I think they're going to go to the 46 with 2 and just pray nothing major happens, and then just make Dez Bryant the 3rd quarterback if something happens.
The lefty.
Hey, speaking of Dez, Joe.
Yeah.
Here goes one. So this week he's been trying to campaign to return kicks. What do you think? Let me get my input real quick, Joe. I think that in situational times, you know, a team's backed up at their 10 or whatever, and Dez is hyped and the game's in the balance, I think it could be a big swing or a big momentum play. So I wouldn't be mad at bringing Dez back to return kicks. The problem with Dez is he just doesn't know when enough is enough. So I wouldn't want him to get hurt. And I know I was listening to something today and I heard a good point. It's basically just like, who will replace Dez and what he brings? Now, we have played games. We played that Green Bay game last year without Dez, and the ball moved fine, but you just got to understand it's not going to be like that every Sunday. So,
yeah,
Dez is so good at when you need a catch, a slant, or just a muscle play, he does that. So, he's one of those guys you have to protect from himself. So, I'm 50-50 on that. What you think, Joe?
Yeah, for me, I don't want him out there. You got your number 1 receiver there. He's a big cap hit. You know, he takes a big chunk of it. I mean, he's your He's your number one, your premier guy. I know other teams do that, Antonio Brown and Odell and these kind of guys, but they're different kinds of runners. They're different body types. Dez is
definitely. That's a great point.
Dez is a bigger guy. He likes to run with power. He wants to run through you. These other guys are a little bit more elusive. Odell and Antonio Brown, they're elusive. They're not going to run through you. They're going to run around you. That's the thing about Dez. That's why I wouldn't want him on punt returns. You're going to pull a hammy, pull a quad. You're going to do something, get your ankle twisted. So I say just let Switz or Beasley just keep doing their thing. Switz did that in college and did pretty good, So I would just keep Switz there.
I agree.
Keep him out of harm's way.
I completely agree.
Man, some other guys here that are making some noise here. Maliek Collins, second-year player.
Lee.
Yeah, man. This guy, I think he's going to do something here for Rod Marinelli's defense. Man, you think he's going to be... last year he had 5 sacks as a rookie. You think he's going to duplicate that or do more?
5 sacks as a rookie, man. That's that stat that I always throw out there. And that's pretty incredible when you think about it. Playing that position, the 3, you inside, got a battle. Listen, I think Lee Collins could be maybe the most underrated player on this defense when it comes to, and if not underrated, just the most forgotten about. Think about this last year, Joe. Dude didn't do anything in training camp. I thought it was a wasted pick. He comes out the first couple of games. Every game he in the backfield, making a play, playing with quickness. And the scouting report on him was he was out of position at Nebraska. They were asking him to do different things. But Rod Marinelli got his hands on him. He just wants him to go up the field, and that's perfect for him. So, yeah, man, I think Maliek Collins can have a great year. He's actually one of the guys that we're depending on to be great for me. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think he has a lot of potential, man. He's definitely got the size. He's got the quick, off the snap, like you said. And this has been a long time coming. We haven't had somebody get to the QB from that position since Jason Hatcher. You remember when Hatcher? You remember when Hatcher left? He said we were in good hands with Crawford, and he was gonna. I mean,
I remember. Wow, Joe, that's. Yeah, good memory.
I wish, man. I wish that was the case, but Crawford he isn't a 3-tech. He's not gonna be that guy, But I think in Collins, I feel a lot better about him doing that. I feel good about Collins being that kind of guy,
Yeah.
But man, what else have we talked about here?
I mean, it's funny. We went through a whole Cowboys huddle without talking about Jalen Smith like in detail. I know that's a Cowboys hot topic. Nothing else really, Joe, I can think of. I know I'm going to continue to. I told everybody that I'm going to continue my position series after OTAs. I got one, Joe. Just quick. Housekeeping Cowboys note: they got the training camp schedules ready to rock and roll, and we go to the training camp early this year because we're in the Hall of Fame game, so that's cool.
That's true.
So we'll be, and Joe, we're gonna do a show every day. Not every day, no. We're gonna do a show during the season, correct?
Yeah. We'll keep it going. We'll during the season, we may change it from Wednesday, or maybe we'll keep it at Wednesday. I don't know. We'll test it out with you guys and see what works.
Yeah, especially whatever the fans would like.
Yeah.
And we'll definitely. It may get to a point to where there's just nothing to talk about at. Just being transparent in this off season time. I know Joe will probably still be doing videos, and I'll be doing a bunch of things musically, but training camp, we picking it up. I'm gonna try to go to training camp, and me and Joe will do I'll do the show and report to him live from camp. At least catch like 3 to 4 days out there, so I can give you guys an unbiased, and I'll give you guys some videos and stuff. So that'll be fun.
Man, we're talking exclusive on-site information. I hope you get out there, Foots. That'll be awesome, actually, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to go. Like, I'm gonna try to make this a yearly thing just for the fans. You go on my page, I got a bunch of stuff from last year, so that was pretty cool. And I'll make sure like I hit it this year, Joe. So you already know.
Oh yeah, man, that'll be good, man. I want to try to get to I'll try to get to a game here at least. I try to make it to at least 2 games a year.
Yeah, I try to do the same 2, maybe 3. I went to 3 last year, so that'd be fun.
Love that stadium, man.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. Wherever I go, I got my YouTube and we doing videos, man. It will never stop.
Yeah, there's no stopping, man.
No
stopping, man. But I think that's it, Foots. I think that's it, right? That's all we got for today.
Yeah, I think we hit it. We'll hit it next week again because that'll be the last week of OTAs. Stuff has been coming out. I know. Let's save Lyle Collins for next week. I got some thoughts about him, so we'll save him for next week, Joe. I'm sure it'll be more Switzer talk. Hopefully, we can get some more insight on our corners and our secondary. I'm gonna try to see what's really going on with them because all I've been hearing is that they battling, but I want to get some juicy info on them.
I know. So hopefully, something here will leak out here.
Yeah, video 2, 3. So yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I think that's it for this episode.
Peace.
We really appreciate all you guys, and like we said, just put your comments there for Q&A for next week. Put your questions in there, and we'll do our best to try to get to the questions. But I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you go visit Foot's YouTube channel, Cowboys Nation TV. All right, follow him on Twitter. Foot's the King.
Foot's the King, man. Thank you guys so much, Joe. Everything you do, I'm on your page all the time. Cowboys blog, Joe's amazing.
Alrighty, man. Well, that's it, everybody. We will see you here for the next video.
Peace.